Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Ilysse and today's video is an extra special video because yes, I'm going to be planning, but I'm not just going to be planning. I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 tips for functional and productive planning. With these tips, you'll be able to pick and choose which ones might work best for you, try out a bunch of different ones in your planner, or you may see one of the tips and say, that's the one for me. I'm going to be using my Clever Fox Premium Planner. This is an A5 size for today's video, and I can't wait to share these tips with you. They're really good ones. Make sure that you watch the whole video so you don't miss any of them, and that you are subscribed to our channel with that notification bell turned on so that you get notified each time we share a new video. Let's dive right in. I'm really excited to dive into this because I think that when it comes to using our planner, we all have different things that are going to work best for us. Some of us are more of hourly time tracker planners. Some of us function better with a checklist. And so we are going to talk about my 5 best tips for functional planning. Tip number 1 is going to be hourly time tracking. Now, in this planner, it does not have hourly blocks, but just because hourly blocks are not included does not mean that it's something that you can't create in your planner if that's the best way of planning for you. So I'm going to show you how we can use this, because what's great about this planner is that we have sections for this week's main goal, this week's priorities, a dot grid section, personal to-do list, habits and skills, this week's wins, and how I'll improve next week. So there's a ton of space in here for a lot of the things you need to jot down and that you need to track, that if you wanted to use the days of the week for time tracking and time blocking, you could do that. So the way that I would do this if I were using it for myself is I would start when I wake up. And I would also, and of course this is going to vary based on what your schedule looks like, right? So I would probably start when I wake up, and I would start and I would continue when other things are going on. So for example, wake up and I'm gonna write a routine. Then at 8 is when I do my other job before my full-time job starts. So I'm just going to write this as consulting. And then 9, work starts. You can also write down different meetings and everything like that you have. Then over here, I would write 1:30 is lunch, 5, wrap up day, and planner check-in. Sometimes my day goes so quickly and it's so crazy busy that it's not until about 5 o'clock that I can actually look at my planner and be like, okay, what were my intentions for the day? What did I decide that I needed to do that I haven't had time yet for, and I need to spend the rest of my day getting this accomplished? Then we're going to write 6, dinner, and 7, we'll write exercise and PM routine. Obviously, like I said, these are going to vary based on what your schedule looks like. This is a generic schedule for me. If I were doing this like for, the exact week, right? Like on Monday, I have dinner plans with a friend. On Tuesday evening, I have a Zoom call. On Thursday, I have a dentist appointment. On Friday, I have a baseball game. On Saturday, I have a birthday party and a dinner on Sunday. So the purpose here is showing you how to use this tracking. This would be a generic day for me, but it's going to change each day that I set up my planner. So tip number 1 is using hourly blocks to be able to list out your day, and you can use them in any planner. It doesn't have to be an hourly planner in order to be able to do this. Another way that you can use hourly blocks is this dot grid section. You can write your ideal schedule over here so that you have this space open for planning and you have that schedule here to reference. I really recommend, if you have not created an ideal schedule of what a weekday looks like for you and what a weekend, or if your work schedule is on weekends, a work day and an off day, it's really helpful to be able to have that as sort of a guideline for you when it comes to your planning. Tip number 2 is going to be splitting your day between half plans and half to-dos. So I'm just going to take a ruler here and kind of eyeball the middle, and we are going to block these off. So on the right side, I'm going to draw little check boxes of the things that I need to do. And we can write down Amazon return, pay, electric bill, laundry, mop floors, and declutter counters. I don't know about anyone else, but my kitchen counters become a drop zone for everything. So on the right side, we have the to-dos, and on the left side is where we are going to put in the plans. You can do this with pen, you can do this with marker, you can do this with highlighter. So I think that one of the things that we can have fun with is just adding in little boxes here, not always the straightest at the lines, but we can put in some boxes. You can do different colors, which is something that we will talk about shortly. So on Tuesday, I mentioned in the evening, I have a Zoom call at 8 p.m. And then in the morning, I have a team meeting at 11:30. You can also make four boxes that are a shorter width if you want to add more plans or different plans for people in your family. Right now, the only schedule I'm managing is my own, but if you have a partner or you have kids or you are a caretaker, you can definitely create other boxes here. So tip number 2 is splitting this up between half plans and half to-do list and being able to see how much you can really fit in here. Of course, you could do the entire thing as a to-do list. That's also definitely doable, but sometimes we need to be able to include important plans in here. The next tip is going to be, as I sort of mentioned, color coding. So for this, I'm going to share with you how we can use different colors to set up notes for our planners. So I have a few colors here for an example. Sorry, I just needed one more. And you can use this section over here to identify what your colors are. So you can choose whatever colors work for you. I do recommend, if you're going to be someone who's using color coding, using the same colors every week for the same items. For example, in all of my planning, green is always financial for me. Green is money. I feel like it just makes sense and it really helps. So we can do finance, we can do home, work, and plans. And then as I'm writing in my planner, I'll be able to use these colors to easily identify the things that need to be done. So we can write pay bills, empty dishwasher, take out trash. I typically write run dishwasher and empty dishwasher as 2 different items in my planner because my dishwasher doesn't work very well with the drying. So after I run it, which takes a few hours, I have to open it and pull the drawers out for everything to just air dry. And usually I run it before I go to bed and empty it overnight. So I have those end up being 2 separate items. Then work, I can write schedule, content. And then for plans, I can do even a space here, dentist appointment. If you don't like the writing in color, that's okay. You could also do something like this. Let's skip down to Saturday just for this example, but we can do something like this where you add in color, or you can also just create a checkbox in that color. You can also highlight these, but we can write dentist appointment. You wouldn't really need to check that off. Those are more for the to-dos, but for this, we could write the time. So using color coding, especially again, if you use the same colors every week, and you'll start to know what those are. You can also take a label, like a mailing label, and put that over this and write what the category would be for. And you could write, let's choose one that we did here, work, and put the label over this so that when you have your pens that you're choosing for color coding, you'll automatically know what these are. This is especially great at the start of a new planner or a new year if this is something you're looking to implement and you don't yet know what your colors are. The next tip that we are going to talk about is enhancing labels using highlighters. So highlighters are a very common thing in reading and studying, right? We started using highlighters when we were in school and learning how to annotate and learning how to learn, essentially. So when you're using a highlighter in your planner, it's really helpful because you'll be able to have these functional labels as something to look at. So what I'm going to do is create a heading here, and then let's create one more. Actually, we'll do a third. And these colors you can also keep the same every week in your planner or throughout the year. So we're going to put these as to do. And this is just a way to really draw your eye to each section and be able to immediately identify what you want each section to look like when you're glancing at your planner. So we can do to-do, goals, and plans. Because sometimes our to-do list is different than our goals. So you can draw boxes here, or you can just list everything out, and we can maybe make like a box here for the plans. So we'll write baseball game, do a little star here, leave at 5 p.m. And then for the to-do list, I can write mail packages, clean office, pay, dental bill. Because of course, after a dentist appointment, there's always going to be a bill. Now, some goals I like to sort of correspond to the habits and skills. So a goal can be exercise, read for 1 hour, and social call. I really like including social calls as something, or it doesn't even have to be a call, it can be a social check-in as part of my planning because it helps me connect with loved ones. And even if it's, okay, when was the last time I talked to this aunt or uncle or checked in with a cousin or reached out to a friend that recently had a baby, being intentional about reaching out to my loved ones is really, really important to me because I think that sometimes we all just get wrapped up in life and how long does it go sometimes between, chatting with our friends and our family members. And so sometimes being the one to make that effort and reach out is always appreciated. Every once in a while, I like to send a text, even if I send it to a few people, and it's like, hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking of you and I care about you and I hope you have a great day. And sometimes that's, you never know what someone's going through and it can really make their day. So that was tip number 4, and this is enhancing functional words by using highlighters. Now, tip number 5 is one of my favorites, and this is where we get to play around with stickers. This planner does come with these 6 sticker sheets, and I'm going to show you on a fresh page different ways that I would use these stickers. So we can first, for me anyway, take payday on Monday, because if you want a little bit more fun in your planner and feel like stickers would help, this is a great way to do it. So we're gonna first pull out these budgeting ones. So let's say we take a little house sticker and kind of label it there for mortgage being due. We can do a habit for a no spend challenge for the week. When I do a no spend challenge, I know this isn't a budgeting video, but a little tip. When I do a no spend challenge, I do it on a specific area in life. I think that the idea of not spending any money isn't that achievable, for me anyway. And so I set it in an area where for 1 week or 1 month, I will not spend any money in that specific area. For July, for me, it was clothing. I did not allow myself to buy any clothing except for one t-shirt that I purchased as a souvenir when I was in Montreal, Canada. And then you can also take, these are great, these appointment stickers to be able to note different things that you have. You can use this for a plan. So let's say you can write 6, dinner, and you can write dentist, 6 p.m. And then another thing I like to include here, especially for an appointment, is the cost. Because then when I'm looking back at my planner, if I didn't track everything properly with my budget, I can be able to write this over here if I have some more space. You can also use stickers just for decoration and motivation. They don't all have to be completely functional stickers. So we have You Matter, I'll Handle It, and Radiate Positivity. We can use these to create our own checklist. right here of things to do. And of course, even bills that are due, that can go right by the payday sticker, and a reminder even for the whole week. This week's main goal can be stop worrying about things you can't control. We can use a grocery bag sticker to create a shopping list for the week. This can be something that kind of grows throughout the week and doesn't all have to be done at one spot, but like something that I know that I need is balsamic glaze. And also I need paper towels. So this is a good reminder for me. I love this space over here. I feel like there's just so much that you can do with all of this. And then don't forget to reach out when it's someone's birthday. So we can write birthday over here. There's a lot of different ways to use stickers in your planner. Some of them are more decorative and some of them are more functional. But I think that if visually it's something that you enjoy and it's going to help you remember, then stickers are a great way to functionally plan because it puts the fun in function. You see what I did there? Okay, so that is the 5th tip. Let's go over our 5 tips again to summarize. Tip number 1 is hourly time blocking. Again, you can put a generic schedule over here and then the actual schedule for the day that you need right over here. Tip number 2 is splitting your planner between half plans and half to-dos. Tip number 3 is color coding and using the same color each week so that you know what each one is for. Tip number 4 is enhancing functional words and labels using a highlighter so that you can separate into each section. And tip number 5, of course, is using stickers. So let us know which of these tips you like best, and hopefully you found them helpful. You can pick up this planner over at cleverfoxplanner.com. Please do make sure that you are subscribed to our channel and you have the notification bell turned on. While you are at it, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and we will see you soon.